What's up, guys? Today I'm going to have a conversation with my friend Sandro Paolini. He is an expert in manifestation, manifesting your own reality. In case you're not familiar with what that word means, it simply means you have a vision in your mind and you make it true out in the real world. He has currently changed his life in a big way. He used to live in Germany, and his soul called him for freedom, for travel, to go to a warmer climate, a jungle climate. And so now he finds himself in Asia, in Bali, in Indonesia, that kind of area. But he's been around Thailand, that kind of stuff. And today we're going to have a discussion about masculine freedom, about following that call inside of you for freedom, and also living a life on your terms. And one thing that Sandro is very good at is just showing you, hey, you can have whatever you want. You want something, you can have it. And he shows people how to get that. He's helped me, and he's helped a lot of people. And you will see through this conversation that he walks his talk. He is a creator of his own reality, which is very exciting, very inspiring, and we have a lot to learn. And fortunately, I can also relate because I have also created my reality in a lot of ways. And so we're going to talk back and forth on, as a man, when you get that call for freedom, when you get those big visions that you think, oh, can I do that? Not, and you get filled with fear. Well, we're going to show you that you can have what you want. You can create the life that you want. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much, Jed, for that fantastic introduction.
How is the temperature over there right now?
Yeah, I have here to make it visible.
Oh, very warm.
31 at the moment. That's my basic life temperature at the moment. That's inside the house. It's in the evening like that, and it's in the daytime like that. So it's always around 30. When you go out, maybe it's 32, maybe hotter than in the house. In the evening, it may be 28, a bit less. But yeah, that's what I love, because I always felt it is too cold in Europe, and exactly in Germany, it's always too cold, always, really always. You have some great summers, and they are nice, and you can sit outside and you can enjoy the weather and the heat. But basically, it's 25, and when it's getting 30 grades, they call it a heat wave, right? So be careful, guys, there comes a heat wave, but here it's everyday normal life. Nobody calls it a heat wave because it's normal, right? And it's fun for me. I really like sweating much more than freezing. So that's the biggest reason why I came here is temperature.
Nice.
And heat.
And so if I understand correctly, you either got rid of most of your possessions, or basically ended the material life in Germany and started over in Indonesia. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of. I was in Thailand 2020. And that was the first time I said, I want to see if I can switch my life. What happens if I'm 1 month in Asia, 1 month in Thailand? And I booked a flight for 4 weeks. That was the longest travel. Mostly I did 10 days when I'm traveling around in Europe, and then I'm coming back. But more and more I felt, why come back? But I didn't have that, okay, I want to go to Spain or Italy or Greece or Portugal or whatever. Didn't have that yes in me, and I was searching for that yes in my life. And then I got to Thailand, and I stayed 4 weeks, and after 3 weeks I realized I cannot go back now. It's too short. I need more time here. So a friend said, you can reschedule your flight. And I said, oh yeah, I can. And I immediately I called the company and said I will stay longer here, and they rescheduled the flight. And I came exactly back when the lockdown in Germany started, exactly on that day. The whole autobahns were free. That was nice. So, but it was a kind of like coming from paradise back to hell a little bit. And I decided that's it. That's what I want. I want that. I want Asian life. I want Asian heat. I want Asian food. I want Asian friendliness, because the people are so friendly here. It's unbelievable. It's different than in Europe, totally different. And I believe it comes through heat, because when you, for example, you go to the street here, the shops, they're all open. They don't have a door to walk in. There's no door. Why should there be? The shop is warm, the outside is warm, so they open the shop and it's open. You just walk in. Basically, they have the whole stuff on the street so you can see what they have for you. And you drive along with your bike and you see, oh, there I can buy this and that, or chair or furniture or clothes or whatever. You see it directly. So everything is open. The restaurants are open. There's no such a thing that it's closed. In Europe, everything is closed. In Germany, definitely everything is closed because it gets fucking cold, and then you need to close everything. Otherwise, you're freezing all the time. So everything is closed, and that is a totally different mentality, I believe. And I feel so much better here. Everything is open. People are friendly. People are helpful all the time.
So what's the difference? There are a lot of people who, let's say, have this fantasy or this vision or this pull for freedom of changing their life, changing their circumstances. But then they think, you know what, I got to be realistic. Let me just, keep doing what everybody else is doing, or I can never do that, or, or maybe one day, someday. What would you say to that?
I did the same. I need to say I did the same. I was waiting for several years. I was saying, okay, I wait till my daughter is old enough. I waited until she's 17, actually, and some things needed to be set up in the right way. But then I decided. Then I had the yes to Asia, and I had, like, the best thing was I didn't need it to say, okay, I want to live there. That was my biggest problem, to say, okay, I want to live there. You cannot say that so easily. But then I got across the idea of digital nomads, and you just can travel. You just keep on traveling as long as you want. If you go here, you like it, you stay a while, you stay a month, you stay 2 months, then maybe you are annoyed by that place, by some things, and then you move on to the next place. For example, I was in Lombok last year, and rain season started, and it was always a lot of rain. A lot of rain comes down here because it's really raining in rain seasons here. It's still hot, but it's raining. And my feeling was I need to go to Gili Island. That is the island in front of Lombok. And I did. And from there, I could see the rain on Lombok every day, but it was not raining. So that was amazing. And the idea to stay in travel, that was a yes for me. Finally I had the 100% yes, go do this, do it, just do it. That's what I want. So I could do that, and I decided to leave my apartment. I decided to get rid of all my stuff. That is a lot of work, by the way, because the older you are, the more stuff you have that is useless, right? But I enjoyed very much just having a small bag, a small suitcase. That's everything you need. Life is so much easier when you only have a small suitcase with everything you need. The rest is kind of useless. Maybe also because I read, I think, from Tim Ferriss, the author of the 4-Hour Workweek. He said, invest into experiences instead of things. Because if you buy a thing, yeah, that's a new cool gadget, maybe. But experiences, you cannot buy them, but you can invest into them. I love that saying, and I did since I heard that, and I did always like to travel. And yeah, so I decided I will go full-time traveler. And now I'm 8 months in Indonesia. And the yes came with a digital mindset, digital nomad mindset. Then I could say, okay, I do that, because I couldn't say I will live in Thailand, I will live in Indonesia, I will live whatever. I wanted just to travel. And so I started to came here without a background in Europe, where I could jump back all the time.
That's yeah. So let's point out some things here that I find really help men when they're kind of having doubts and stuff. So I went through a similar process when I was just following my, for me, in my situation, I was in Vancouver, Canada, and I lived in Vancouver for, I think 4.5 years. But after 2 years, I was getting that pull to, to get out of there. And I kept going on trips to Thailand, to Hawaii, to California, to the sea, to the ocean, And then, everyone around me was saying, Jad, be responsible, settle down, you're getting old, I was trying to listen to them, but ultimately, I knew I had to go. And so the thing that Sandro was mentioning, if you have that call inside of you and you're like, I'm not sure, what should I do? It's scary. Notice that Sandro didn't just make one jump and boom, he's done. He took a trip. There's a great thing that I learned from Eben Pagan, the marketer. He says, human beings are terrible at calculating how we're going to feel about something until after we do it. Okay, let's repeat that. Human beings are terrible at estimating or predicting how we're going to feel about something until after we do it. So a lot of people are stopped or make plans for years without making a move, thinking, oh, after 10 years, then I'll do this. That's a bad plan, because maybe you wait 10 years, then you go do that, and then you're like, oh, damn, I don't like this, right? And you were wrong that whole time. So what Sandro did is he said, okay, well, let me dip my toes in. Let me go to Thailand for a bit, see how it feels, right? And then, oh, feels, that's why he's saying it was a yes. That's your intuition inside telling you yes, right? And then so when you go, you don't go with 100% certainty. You go with following what's pulling you, and then you go there, and then you think, and then naturally it just feels right, Sandro? It just feels right. You can't even totally explain. It just feels right? But Sandro's saying it's a yes. So then from that yes, because you took the step into that, what pulled you, and then you got the yes, then the path starts to unfold in front of you, and things that would never have happened, which I'm going to ask you about, Sandro, things that would never have happened to you only because you followed that call. You see? And so the path is like tiles, and every time you take a step, the tile lights up the path in front of you. And people are stuck because they're like, oh, I don't know how, I don't know what. You're never going to know how until you start stepping. But with each step, a bit of the path lights up in front of you. So, Sandro, can you kind of share?
I totally agree on that. I totally agree on that. And I need to add something to that. First, the call is very, very important. We all have a calling inside of us. Nobody else hears it. Nobody else can see it. Nobody else can say, oh yeah, I see your calling. You should do that. Nobody else can do that for you. They will say, oh, you should do that. And from a logical perspective, that makes mostly sense. But from a soul feeling, inner calling perspective, it makes no sense at all, right? From a logical perspective, I should have said, my life is good. I'm earning quite good money. Everything is fine. Why should I change it, right? But we feel this calling and it says, do something. You need to do something. And you don't know exactly what it is. It is not clear because it is the soul that wants something else. And it doesn't say, I want that. It just keeps you pushing to do something else. And like I said, I traveled Europe. I was nearly everywhere. No, that's overestimated, but I traveled a lot. And there was no yes in me to move to a different country in Europe. It was not in me. So I traveled back to Germany and it was also feeling wrong. And then second time. I was 7 years ago in Bali, first time. And that blew my mind because I was so thrilled. What I see here, what I feel here, it was amazing for me. And then I said, okay, I want to go to Thailand because a friend of mine said, you need to see it. It's fantastic. You need to go there. And I did. And I was blown away again. And I felt then, okay, this is the calling. I want these jungle energies. I want these palm trees everywhere. I want monkeys on the street. I want all this. That's what I want, really. That's when I see it, I feel happy. When I look out and I see this, that's what makes me feel good. And I didn't decide I want to live in Thailand. I didn't decide I want to live in Indonesia. I decided I want to travel Southeast Asia. That's what I decided. And then I wanted to go to Thailand, but 14 days, they wanted 14 days quarantine. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. And I wasn't happy with that. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine. So basically 14 days of jail. And I wasn't happy with that. So I choose Indonesia because they offered 14 days quarantine 5 days of jail, and then you're free. So I went to Indonesia, 5 days, and I had also some friends here that I could visit, and I was curious what they are doing here. They lived on an island that's called Sumbawa. Next to Bali is Lombok, next to Lombok is Sumbawa. Nobody ever heard of that because it's so unknown. And I came there and it was fantastic. It was what I ever wanted to see, because it's a very beautiful place, amazingly beautiful beaches, everything fantastic. And there's no one. There's no one. There's literally no tourism. There's no hotels, only some small places. And you can walk an hour on the beach, you see 5 people. For me, that's perfect, because basically I'm an introvert. I like to connect with people, but if it's too crowded, it's not for me. It's not what I want to see. It's not where I feel home, basically. And I stayed about 2 months there, and I really enjoyed it. And then I wanted to see something new again. So I jumped to Lombok. And yeah, stayed 2 months there again. And then I wanted to see something new again. And it called me to go to Gili Island. And I jumped there, stayed a month. Amazing place, because it's a very fucking small island. It's 2 kilometers, 1.5, I think, kilometers big. It's so small. You can walk around it in, I don't know, 2-3 hours maybe, or maybe 4 by foot. But yeah, it's very small. I like small islands. That's basically personal stuff. What you like depends on you. So you need to find out what it is, what you like, because you find it out through experience. You cannot find it in your head. Yes, if I go there, like you said, Jed, it may feel different when you do it. So just do it. Just do it. I love that saying from Nike. It's amazing. It's an amazing sentence. Just do it is one of the best sentences for all of things. Because one thing I have had in mind before, if you jump somewhere you're not familiar with, if you jump into a new country, for example, your mind goes blank, because he has no idea what's happening there, right? For the mind, it's a black hole. But in fact, you do not jump into a black hole. You jump to another place, and there are humans, there are cities, there are streets, there are monkeys, there are palm trees, wherever you go, there's already something. And you connect with that something, and that works very well, mostly in my experience. It's much easier in Asia than in Europe to connect to people. It's much easier to find people that are like-minded, maybe, because again, like the heat and the shops, everything is open. Also the people are open, and yeah, you will never fall into a black hole and think, how do I get out of here? You will always land somewhere, and it's nice. It's really nice experience to go into that experience, to feel new things around you and to walk around and discover new things. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I hope people will get from this, is that like when you show, like you said something now, Sandro, you find out through experience, not through thinking, right? We live in a society, and we've been educated or miseducated to believe that all solution comes through thinking, which isn't true. You find out, so Sandro said you find out through experience, right? You need to trust your intuition more and your cerebral thinking less, in a way. If you're pulled somewhere, and that pull keeps calling you. There's a calling. Maybe you don't feel like this, but you feel like it's a whisper in your ear or something. If something is consistently calling you, now we're taking travel as one example, but it could be anything. Maybe you're being pulled to be an actor, and then you're like, who am I to be an actor? Everybody's going to laugh at me. My friends are all going to tell me, what is this random thing you want? But if whatever it is, right? But if there's something constantly pulling at you, remember, we're not saying pushing, it pulls you, you're drawn to it, but then your mind is arguing against it. In this case, it's the pull that is the truth, and your mind is actually the fear, the doubts, the how. The how is not your job. If you've studied manifestation, you know this phrase, the how is not your job. So what you need to do is listen to the call as a man. So we're having a man-to-man conversation. As a man, you need to listen to the call. Sandro said it, don't listen to the people. Okay, listen to the call over the people. You know why everybody laughs at your vision? It's because they can't see it. It was not given that vision. And Sandro, you said that, I'm just saying it in a different way. The vision, why people laugh at us or tell us, what are you doing? That's a dumb idea, or that's irresponsible. It's because they don't see the vision you see. So to them, it doesn't make sense. But to you, it makes sense.
Definitely. The calling inside of you is absolutely persistent. It does not go away ever. You can try to ignore it. You can try to live a normal life. You can try to live normal society stuff. You can try that for years, but the call stays in your ear and it says, come on, come on, come on. Very small voice, very, very subtle, but it stays there. It doesn't go away. And if you have that voice that is always there and it's not going away, listen to that voice. That voice is your self in the future calling you into your own future. And you definitely need to listen to that voice. You don't need to listen to us both, but you need to listen to that voice, because that is really, really, really important. And nobody else can see or hear it. Nobody, right? It is fucking important to listen to that voice. And it takes training to listen to that voice. It takes training. Every day it takes training to listen to that voice, because it's every time the voice is with you. And it tells you, go left, go right, take this step, take this way. Sometimes it is saying small steps, and it gives you small hints wherever you are. And it's always the right steps that it keeps telling you, but it doesn't give you a full map, and it doesn't tell you like a briefing, okay, we do this and this and this, and then we come out here. And no, that's exploration. You just do the steps and you come out where you couldn't even imagine before how good it is. That is an unbelievable thing. I still am amazed always when some things come up that I had a bit in mind, but it comes up much better than I had it in mind. That's amazing, really amazing.
Yes, exactly. And when you, I think that's an amazing, it's brilliant that you highlighted that point, which is it never leaves you alone. I can relate to that, because coming back to Vancouver, before Vancouver, I had been jumping around pretty much every 2 years because I had been listening to the voice, right? And that's what the voice wanted me to do, apparently, right? Just move and to different cities and experience different things. And then me being in Vancouver for around 4.5 years, and after 2 years, like the last 2 years, things were not flowing for me. I was pushing, but no matter how hard I pushed, things were not flowing because I wasn't listening to my truth. And then when I just surrender to the voice and say, okay, I'm not going to listen to all the external voices of people, and I'm just going to listen to this internal call. And I sold all my stuff. I had a very nice sports car, good for getting girls. I had a very nice racing sports motorbike, great for getting girls. I had a good downtown apartment, like Sandro was like, I had a good setup, good setup, nice city. I sold everything and I started traveling. And once I did that, the gates opened and things started flowing. And as Sandro said, again, just to highlight, we're going to repeat things so you don't miss them, is great things started happening, and better than I expected things started happening, like Sandro said, So if you're stuck in your life now, you want to investigate, have I been drowning out and pushing down this calling because I'm following the crowd, or I'm following what mom and dad or family is telling me to do, whatever, and is my life stuck? It's kind of like I've come to see life as kind of like a mathematical formula. Like if you do X plus Y, you get Z, right? And it's not an accident you're stuck if you're not following or listening or obeying that calling.
You made like you push down the voice. It's like, no, we don't have space for that here at the moment. Go away, right? Because it needs a lot of changes if you follow that.
It's scary to follow the voice.
Absolutely, yes, it's scary. But it's so good in the same time. At the beginning, it might be scary because your mind says You don't know what's going to happen, right? But that's exactly the beauty of it, really. If you don't know what's going to happen, that's the best you can do. That is really the best you can do, because then I've done it so often in my life. When you go somewhere where your mind does not know how it exactly is, that is perfect. That is the best you can ever do, because then all your wishes, all your desires, all what you want to see in your life has a space to grow. And then magic happens. It grows and you cannot believe what is happening, because it grows so quick, because you've gave it a place to grow. You've gave it a place to be. And then magic happens. I call it magic since many, many, many years, because I can't call it different. That's magic what happens. It just comes to you. Because as you said, you invest, you push, right? You push your life to the way you want it to be. But when you do the right steps and you follow your voice, it just comes to you easily, without any pulling, without any pushing. You're just sitting around and say, oh my God, this is so beautiful here. How can it be that it's so easy? And boom, the next thing comes to your place and says, here, we have more from that, more from that for you. You want more? We have it. You
That's
waited
great.
so long. You waited so long for it, and here it is, right?
Here it is. And let me just give a side note in case younger guys are listening to this. We're not saying you don't need to work hard. We're saying you need to work hard on the path that's right for you. Right? I mean, you still have to put in the work, but work pays off when you're on the right path.
Yeah, it is. And didn't forget, you said in another opportunity, you said, choose the hard life earlier, then life gets much easier. And don't try to live easy, because then it gets really hard, right? If you do the hard way before, then life gets easy. But if you try to live easy, then it gets mostly very hard on the long end. But if you do the hard work, the not so easy steps in front, then life gets really good and more easy than you can believe. But yeah, it's a life of work. Work needs to be done. Things needs to be done. It's not. I don't like. For example, I'm sitting here in Bali. I could sit on the pool and on the beach every day, but I don't do it at all. That's not what I want. I don't.
Yeah, I think as a man, like you're always driven. You're always driven to do something, right? Whether it's write a book, create something, there's a proactive part of masculine spirit, or maybe the human spirit. I don't think anybody likes to just, I mean, we all think we want to sit on the beach. I've also tried that, just sitting on the beach and doing nothing. It was a very short time, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of stupid. Like, this is like, I read the books, I scratched my butt, and it's like, what else am I gonna do? Right? So yeah, just for the younger guys, when we're saying effortlessness, what we mean is you're showing up, doing what your spirit is calling you to do. When you're in alignment with what work you should be doing, work, whatever that means, your work as an actor, as an engineer, as a painter, whatever it is, but when you're showing up on the path you should be on versus the path they told you to be on, then your work pays off. That's what we kind of mean, like effortless, like the fruits of you start seeing fruits of your labor because you're on the right track. Whereas if you're working on something you're not supposed to be doing, then even if you're doing it, it's not coming from the right place. And so you kind of just bump up against the wall. So anyways, I don't want to get off track, but just wanted to mention that for the guys.
But it's very important, because it feels hard if you're not on your own track of your own life, on your track of your own calling, of your own soul. When you follow that calling, it's like sliding down a mountain or on the snow. It just goes down and it's very easy, right? While when you do the things you don't want to do, and you do the things you're maybe told to do, or you do the things that sounds logical in your head to do, it is hard. It is like pushing up the mountain, the whole things, and it's not easy. It feels really hard to do, and it sucks the life out of you, I would say.
Nice. That's also the exact words I use. It sucks the life out of you. Don't you're you know what? Let's just keep going a bit more with this whole thing about hard work, because these are some lessons that were very important to me, and I think they'll be important to the viewers. Is like um, we're we feel an obligation. Like if you look at motivation videos and this whole society, work hard, work the blah blah blah. It's like, yes, work hard, but you're not supposed to be miserable. You're not supposed to be working hard at something you hate, because you're trading your life for that. Bob Proctor says something you need to ask yourself, not am I worthy of achieving this goal, but rather, is this goal worthy of me? Okay, let's repeat that. Is this goal worthy of me? Meaning, you need to realize whatever you're going after, you're trading your life for this. Is this worth it? And is the journey worth it? So you need to, when you follow your true path, then it is worth it. You're trading, you're going after a goal that is worthy of you. Okay, and that actually originates from Earl Nightingale. Move towards a worthy ideal, and Bob got it from Earl, right? So that's a great question for you to ask. Is my goal worthy of me? Because I'm trading my life for this. Is this a worthy goal?
Yeah, I call it like, do you want to live that way? Because you said I try to fine tune my reality all the time. I try to see how it is, and then I try to make it better. And it's not that I'm unhappy with how it is. Wherever I am, I'm mostly happy because I'm thankful and grateful about the things. A lot of things are good, but you see things that are not so good, and then you think, how can you make it better? And I really say it's very helpful if you just keep on dreaming. Really, keep on dreaming. Say, okay, I want to do that. It doesn't make sense at the moment, but it's what I want. And if it's inside of you, if that's what you want, then you need to do it someday. You can push it away some years, but then you realize it's still there. I'm pushing it away since years, but it's still there. And then, so the question is, what is it what I really want, right? What is it what I really want? For example, I feel at home here in this country at the moment. I'm sitting in Indonesia. Things worked very easily for me. I didn't do anything. I got a house, I got a visa, I got opportunities coming to me. I didn't do anything for it. It just came by, just showed up in front of me and said, and the only thing I needed to do was saying yes. Yes, I want that. But it was not hard to find them. It was very easy. And that is what I mean by sliding down the way of life into your own dream reality. It's not a hard thing to do. It seems a bit hard, but if you're really on the go, on the move, on the roll, it gets momentum and it gets very easy. And you just slide into the next better reality that you want. And it's going, I mean, the slide is going down, but your energy is going up, right? You're not sliding down into hell, you're sliding down into heaven, I would say. It's a really good feeling. And yes, things show up in front of you. That's amazing. That's, again, magic, because you're not pulling the things. I want that. No, you had that, I want that in you, and it just shows up like, ah, you want that? Here it is. How about that? How about that version of what you want? You can say, that's good. I want that. I take it. And even if you take it, you can even say some weeks later, I want it different. I see it's not perfectly what I want. Maybe, for example, here I'm having a house directly at the rice field. I didn't search it. I didn't look for it. I didn't wanted it. It just showed up because through some connection, somebody told me there's a house. It's empty since 2.5 years because of COVID times. Indonesia was locked 2 years. Nobody could enter, kind of. And I just saw the view from the window on the video, and I said, I'm interested. I like that. And yeah, now I'm sitting in that house. I have a perfect internet connection. Everything runs smooth. So I have a base when I can jump from that base wherever I want. But actually, I'm still discovering all the area around me, digging through the options that are here. And I don't know what will be the future. I'm not feeling that I live here the next 10 years, but for a year, it's a good base. And the important thing is I didn't search it. That is amazing. I didn't search it. It just popped up in front of me. And it was such a good offer that I couldn't say no. I could not. You wouldn't believe how big it is and how cheap it is. It's unbelievable for European prices and European lifestyle. But here it was empty. The guy is happy that I pay rent, that I'm sitting here, that I'm using the space, and I'm happy too. So it's a win-win for both of us, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing stuff that happens when you are on the road to follow your own call. And let's think about it a little deeper. I said it's your own calling from your own future. Wouldn't you yourself promote and help you to live a better life if that's what you're hearing? Let's think about it just for a moment. If that's what you're doing is you, your soul, your eternal being that wants to have an experience, wouldn't it be easy if you'd follow that call? Right? And we can say Jed did it. I saw Jed following his call years ago before I followed my call. Jed did it much more years before me. And I looked at Jed and said, wow, he's doing it. Amazing. Fantastic. I want this too, right? I saw you, Jed, when you did that. And it touched me. And I was seeing that's what I wanted to. But it took some years to get there. Yes. But I did it, and I'm very happy about that. And it's amazing that we talk about that now.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's another part of manifesting. I think while you were speaking, I thought of an analogy, which is, you know, how you're saying, it's easy once you follow things. Just kind of, you know, you get the house, you meet this girl, you find this deserted island, and it's like you didn't really try everything, just coming, and it's like I got the analogy of skydiving. If you guys know, I'm a skydiver, so there was actually a recent study as well done where they measured the fear level of skydivers, and they found that the fear level was highest in the plane, but the second the people jumped, they went into a kind of a happy equilibrium, like the fear was gone. Well, isn't that kind of the same as, like, we're so scared to follow that calling, we're so scared and what's going to happen, and we're thinking logically, right? Like in the plane, you're thinking, oh, is the parachute going to work? Did they clip me on right? Am I clipped on? Because they usually clip you on to another person if it's your first jump, and you're right. But when you jump, you're like, oh, well, we're in it now. So I think the biggest hurdle is just saying, okay, I'll listen to you, to the voice, right? To the calling, and jumping. And then once you jump, just like in skydiving, like, whoa, this is amazing, right? If you've seen skydiving videos that people are happy in the air, well, Sandro's kind of like, now he's describing, he's like, yeah, wow, how? So he didn't mention the girls and those adventures, that he had some great adventures there. We'll talk about today or another day. He had all these things happen to him. So you need to realize that a lot of your fears and unknowns will disappear after, if I could like splash it on the screen, the word after you jump. Never before.
Yeah.
Right?
Before you're in your head, after you're in your doing in your life. And I had a small experience. I was in Lombok, and there was a bridge, like every German security freak would die just seeing it, because it was because it was just some wood, and it was totally damaged, and there was missing every search wood was there,
like the steps, the planks.
The others were damaged, and I stand there and I wanted to go over this bridge, And I was really in fear, like, oh shit, if I step wrong and I fall down, I crush my leg or whatever, bone is broken. But then I saw a dog running over it without taking any care. And then I saw some people going over it. So I realized it is possible. I need to say it is possible. And then I realized if I go over it, then my body takes over, and the body has the intelligence to do it. My mind does not have the intelligence to do it. That was really an amazing experience, because if I give my body the ability to walk over this scary bridge, then the body takes over, uses his intelligence, and it's no problem for my body to walk over this bridge without falling down. But your mind, my mind was scared at that moment, really. I was standing, I don't know, 15 minutes there, thinking, oh shit, I need to do it, but I'm scared. And then, okay, I did it and it worked. But again, yeah, it's different intelligence. We have mind intelligence that is good for analytical thinking, maybe also for designing what you need to solve some things. You have body intelligence, highly intelligence, and you don't understand it from your thinking. It's something completely different. The body intelligence does healing. The body intelligence does so much in your life all the time. It's amazing to honor that. And I call the body the temple of the soul, because the soul lives inside the body. If the soul leaves, the body dies. And soul intelligence is that small voice that you hear, right? It's your intuition. It's that small saying that's very subtle, very calm, very simple. It's not yelling. It's not discussing. It's not wanting. It's just very, very, very subtle and simple, and saying, hey, how about that? How about this? You want more of this? Okay. And it's always there, very small, but your mind is so loud, so you don't hear it mostly. And we have the intelligence of emotion. Intelligence of emotion tells you if things are right for you or not. If it feels very bad, some say, yeah, it's your mindset, whatever. Might be true a bit, but it's also like a compass. It tells you I'm wrong and I'm right here, in my opinion. If you're not creating fear all the time with your mind, then your emotion is kind of a feedback system that tells you this is good for me and this is bad for me. Very simple. You can break it down to that. And if you're feeling good, keep on doing it. If it feels good, then go that way. If it's feeling bad and worse, choose another direction. Very simple, right?
Beautiful, Sandro. Beautiful. So let me expand or give you say in my words. Today, one thing that I want you to really take away is we're living in a society where people are trusting their minds too much and trusting their intuition and emotional intelligence too little. When you are not following your call, it is because I have a joke. Basically, you got trust issues. Okay, you got trust issues, bro. You're not trusting your intuition. You need to, if you understood what is inside of you, aka the soul, the spirit, that's all-knowing, you would understand that, hey, maybe I don't understand why it's telling me to do this, but I understand that there's a wisdom beyond my conscious awareness or my brain that knows. And what we're saying today is be more obedient to that wise man or wise intelligence inside of you, right? So trust more. Don't, I gotta know how it's gonna happen. You're gonna stay stuck, right? It's about jumping into the unknown, jumping out of the plane into the unknown, you just gotta jump and trust. Why do you trust? Sandro, you said something before that I wanted to also highlight, but we got off track. Is Sandro said that, in so many words, when he followed his intuition, it's always been right. It's always taken him down the right path. I've said that many times to many of my clients and students, like, whenever I've followed, it's never been wrong. But when I've followed the external voices, most of the time, it's been wrong.
Yeah, very wise. Very wise. That is a cool perspective we are going into the whole time in this talk, because it feels like not many people talk about that, right? We're getting a lot of things, how to live, how to be effective, how to change
Work hard,
your
work
life.
hard, work hard.
Yeah, we need to do the work that is needed. That is for sure. But
yeah, no, I mean, I'm copying like yeah, there are a lot of videos just talking about work hard, but they don't make the distinction of work hard in your where you're supposed to be working hard, not just work hard where you think you're supposed to work hard.
Yeah, and if you do the work that you like to do, it doesn't feel like hard work, even though it is maybe a lot of work, right? I have a question. I have a question to you, Jed. I see you were leaving Canada, and you were traveling. How long did you travel? How long did it take? Do you have an idea?
How long did I travel until I settled in one place, or?
Yeah, kind of, maybe.
3 to 5 years, just
Oh, wow.
because where I finally settled, I wasn't completely sure if I was going to stay or not. So I was in the wind, let's say, or, in terms of like moving physically from one country to another, whatever, about 3 to 4 years going back and forth, going, okay, I'm taking here, I'm taking there, I'm taking here, I'm taking there.
That's a long time. That's a very long time.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like a long time, and it didn't feel like I wasn't waiting or trying to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you were on the run, right? You're on the go. Everything is fine.
Yeah, I was where I was, kind of. And then when I wasn't where I wanted to be, I moved to where I was called, right? So I kept...
Yeah, that's so simple. That's so simple.
I kept following the voice telling me, okay, now you're going to do this. Now you're going to go this direction. Now you're going to go this direction. So Sandro also said something which I think is very important. If you're going to follow this, again, we're using travel just as an analogy. It could be anything. Maybe you're following a certain path of career or art or hobby. It doesn't matter, right? But it's... we don't know. The voice doesn't say you're going to this specific place to do this specific thing, to do this specific... No, it's like, here's the direction. It's kind of like, oh, go this way, go this way. And then when you go, then, oh, this is happening, this is happening. Oh, this feels good. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then the path gets revealed because you went. I want you to stop. If you're multitasking, I want you to stop and really get this. The path only gets revealed because you're stepping on the path. If you're not stepping and you're thinking, the path does not get revealed. It's impossible. Only after you step.
Yeah, you need to walk. You need to do steps. You need to do real steps that are not thoughts in your head, but real actions in the real world that change some things for you.
Yeah. So,
and then the world can come back to you, right?
Yep. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I interrupted you, so it's fine. I just said the walk is very, very, very important. If you think all day about it, you will not get anywhere. But if you do the right steps, you will get feedback from the world. You will find opportunities. You will find solutions. You will find people. Even if you fail, and sometimes you need to fail sometimes. It's definitely part of the whole process. You think, oh, maybe this is the way how I can do it. And then you search for it, or you maybe Google it, or you maybe ask some people, and they say, no, that's a bad idea because this and this and this and that. And if you're quick, then you realize that before you did it and failed. But by that, you found people that tell you, oh, better you do it that way because this works much better because this and that, right? So it's always helpful to ask other people also. People that already did what you did. People that already found solutions for the questions you are searching, because the world is not we don't need to invite everything totally new, right? We can ask people that did already a good job, and yeah, they mostly like to share how they found the way, how they found their solutions, and things unfold in a magic way if you follow the steps in your own terms.
Very important point. Yeah, no, everything that you want to do has already been done by people. So it's a very smart idea to ask someone who's already done what you want to do. Go talk to them, have a few conversations with them. And yeah, you'll get a lot of valuable insight that you won't get from a search engine. You know, of course, you can find a lot of good information on search engines, but talking to a real person, even better.
Yeah, it's undescribable, the difference between the information you see on a web page or on Google or on a YouTube video, then to talk to that person that knows what you need to know, ask them personal direct questions and get personal direct answers. That is amazingly important. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't ask some people that did know more than I do about digital nomad stuff. I asked some people how to set up my life in the future because I didn't know about these things, and I would never had the idea how it is done if I didn't ask some people. And the good thing is I did. I searched, I asked, I found solutions, I found helpers, I found people that know better than me, and I learned 1 year what is possible, how it is easy to set up your life in a global way, that I can be anywhere now on the planet. I can decide to sit here in Bali or in Indonesia or in Asia, but I could also be in Germany, I could be in the US, I could be in Costa Rica, could be in Dubai, whatever I want. And it would make no difference for me. It would make no difference in the way how business is set up, money is flowing in, and everything works digital nomad style everywhere, for example.
Perfect, perfect. So let's wrap up the conversation with this. If this conversation resonates with you and you want to follow the voice more, maybe some of you are thinking, I'm having trouble hearing the voice, or I don't really hear the voice, or you need to slow down and sit in stillness. Now, I don't want to say the word meditation, because in my books, meditation is kind of a bad word, because when you go meditation, then you're going to go online and say, how do I meditate? Then you're going to have transcendental meditation, Yoganandara meditation, some other meditation. Then you're jumping back into systems, which get you back in the mind. Then your research. From Eckhart Tolle, I learned this, and also Jiddu Krishnamurti. Just sit in stillness. How do you sit in stillness? You sit in stillness. You don't read, you don't listen, you just sit. Sit in stillness 5, 10, 20 minutes per day. And this will settle your mind down. And then as your mind settles down, you will start to hear. As long as you're like this, okay, like a psycho, like we all are, right? You're not going to hear. You're not going to be in touch, in tune. Slow down, minimize digital devices, take walks, sit in stillness, and you will start to hear. So what's your take on that?
I can only say that is the best you can do. I try to do it every day. I do it minimum 6 times a week. I sit in stillness in the start of my day. And when I don't do it, like you said, I'm getting crazy. I'm definitely getting crazy. My mind gets overwhelmed by the 1,000 things I want to do and can do and should do and want to do. But if I sit in stillness, that's so helpful, man. That's so helpful. So yes, everybody should do that, learn that, and incorporate it into your lifestyle.
Good, good. Maybe we can have a conversation just about that alone. It's a very important topic.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
by the way, I'm having a book and about all the things that we are talked about and creating realities, and that is the book called Self-Made Reality. At the moment, you cannot buy it in English; you can only buy it in German. But I'm working on it, that it's available also in English soon. And maybe if you see that, and it's not actually when we release this video, it's already available. If you look for Sandro Paolini, Self-Made Reality, you will find it. You can also find the webpage of me, and that is called freesoul.club, not freesoul.com, freesoul.club. There you can sign up for my newsletter, and you can also find me on YouTube with several inspirations to live a better life the way you like to live.
And we find you on YouTube by searching Sandro Paolini.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to find me, I would say.
Okay. And we'll also include the links in the description box below this video. So I look forward to your book in English. And I'm a subscriber to Sandro's YouTube channel. You'll see him in tropical places and a good energy, talking about very inspiring things, makes your day better. So we'll leave a link to your channel also in the description box. And yeah, well, I look forward to more conversations like this with you, Sandro. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave in the comments your feedback. Actually, we would love to hear your feedback. So please take the time to give us some feedback. And also, any suggestions for future conversation topics. So with that, Sandro, any final words before we sign out?
Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and thanks for looking into that perspective of life. Thanks a lot.
Great. All right, guys, take care.